Conyers particularly is that the allegations, as now that's one thing when he was going after allegedly some subordinate, and that's the one that got paid off with the taxpayer money. That's outrageous. And the fact that he somehow weaseled his way so he didn't have to pay it out of his own pocket, the fact that it was secret for so long, also outrageous. I think Congress is totally complicit. I think on right and left, Democrat, Republican, I can give you 100 cases where Mark Foley, Vitter, Craig, go on and on and on. How many times our leaders have been guilty of these misdeeds, Kimberly?
Well, also, and taxpayer money shouldn't go to have to pay for these misdeeds and this kind of, abuse that people have to suffer in the workplace. I mean, Kaylee, what's your response when he brings up the other side? Do you feel there's a double standard, or a hypocrisy of any sort?
No, I think from the Republican Party, you've seen an unequivocal stance from both the president and from our party saying if any allegation is true, that individual should step down. It's a clear standard, but it's one we haven't seen embraced by the Democrats. They've covered for Bill Clinton for 3 decades, and now with Congressman Conyers, you have one Democratic lawmaker as of this morning calling for him to resign. Maybe it's a handful now, but where is the consistency from their party? Don't cover for your own. Be the party of women. That's what you claim you are. Well, you're not acting like it.
All right. Well, Lieutenant Colonel, how about that? Because, they do really hold themselves out to be the gold standard, but the response and assessment and, being proactive on behalf of women in the sense of the liberals and Democrats has not been their most, worthy, shining moment.
No, you're absolutely right. The actions do not match up with the rhetoric. And you brought up the point, I'm waiting for Madonna or Ashley Judd or some of these other individuals to come out and start screaming from the rafters, but you're not going to hear that. I was in Congress when the Anthony Weiner incident came down. And, for him to have done the things that he did and then continue to maybe even run for mayor of New York City. I mean, you got to put these things in perspective. But if Congress wants to do the right thing, Congress needs to let us know in full transparency who are the people that were the recipients of these taxpayer-funded bailouts for their abhorrent behavior. That is something that they need to do, or else it will be seen as some big boys club.
I think he makes a great point, Geraldo, which there has to be a full and thorough, a fair accounting from both sides in terms of how these things were handled, investigation back to understand that, where were the taxpayer funds allocated to, and after what kind of, due process, etc., to be able to vet the allegations, and then also to act in a way, expeditiously to make sure that there was some kind of justice and there was some kind of reprisal and some kind of education going forward so that this would in fact not continue to occur.
Well, you have Wiener's going to jail, so justice has been served in his case. You've got this other Republican congressman, Barton out of Texas, who just got caught sending lewd pictures of his genitalia to girls he was courting. What's he going to do?
Well, but that was his statement is that it was in a relationship that he was having a relationship with these different women, and that there was some back and forth in terms of, please don't try to blackmail me with these photos, etc., that he was going to talk to Capitol Police.
I was at Polo, the restaurant that you love also in New York, and Kathy Lee Gifford was there. Erica and I saw Kathy Lee at a table as we were leaving. And she says to me, Kathy Lee looks up, says to Erica and me, can you believe what's going on right now? I don't even know who to say hello to. I'm afraid that someone's going to consider it sexual harassment. I mean, maybe you know it when you see it. But my point is, you need clear standards, and you need a standardized repercussions for bad behavior. Obviously, a criminal case, Weiner goes to jail. Good riddance. That's to bad rubbish. That's where he should go. I think that the Congress has to clean its own house.
All right, we're tight here on time, but Kaylee, I'm going to give you a final word as well.
Yeah, I would just say that we have a systemic problem that when an accuser brings forth a claim against a powerful lawmaker, they're instructed to go to immediate counseling, and then their name and the name of that congressman is shrouded in secrecy. It's the powerful versus the people. It's inexcusable, and Congress needs to clean this up.
All right, Lieutenant Colonel, Congress, a lot more needs to be done here. It seems like they've been failing pretty abysmally.
Yeah, so a lot more needs to be done. I find it very interesting that you have Congress up there deciding how much money that we can keep ourselves as they go through this tax bill process, but yet they're using our money to take care of their abhorrent behaviors.
Yeah, absolutely. Unbelievable. Bad deeds. Okay, thank you so much, panel. Fantastic to have you here tonight. And one prominent Democrat is now slamming former President Bill Clinton for his history of sexual misconduct. We'll tell you who it is after the break. Stay with us as this special edition of Hannity continues.